Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So it seems like Fani Willis cannot stop tripping over her own feet. She continues to say, you know, there are people in the world that refuse to hold themselves accountable. And a lot of times you hear people say that it seems like women, especially these Democratic politicians, refuse to hold themselves accountable or liable for their own actions. For instance, we know what Fani Willis did, right? We know what was wrong, what was immoral about it, what was unethical about it. But her and even her followers, they'll state hell. Even her followers will get on my videos and they'll leave comments saying she did nothing wrong. Why y'all sweating her? Oh, somebody told me that that weak men hate strong women. And I replied and said, oh, well, I wouldn't know what a weak man. I said she may be right. I don't know. I say I don't deal with weak men and don't know any weak men that I associate with. And then they replied and said, well, you probably don't associate because you don't need to. And they had like a smiley face. And I just said, well, hey, you must know me very well, because besides maybe 2 or 3 people on both sides of my parents' family, you know, most of the men in my family, they got families, they got houses, some of them got careers, and some of us got land, property outside of the house that we live in. So yeah, like I said, I don't associate too much with weak men. Don't know too many of them. Like I said, don't associate with them. I'm sure they're out there, but I ain't gonna be the one. I don't associate with them. But anyway, people love to sit there and try to explain for Fani Willis, knowing, hey, she just did wrong. We didn't say nothing was illegal. It was just unethical, immoral. Why do you sit there and justify and back and support people doing the wrong things? Then you got the mayor in New Orleans. What's her name? LaToya. God, dog, what's her last name? I forgot. And then you got the mayor Dalton with Tiffany Henyard. And then they got this Orlando commissioner out here now. She done swindled this old woman out of $100,000. But all in all, people, they all say that they did nothing wrong. Now let that be a man that did some of this stuff. And you know, most of us, like say strong, real men gonna do, we're gonna say, hey, we apologize for what happened. You know, we take full accountability for our actions. If we hurt anybody, we apologize. And that's what we'll do, and we'll move on. Either that or don't say nothing, but we're not gonna get out here and act like that we're like innocent of all charges. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, like I said, it just seemed like, say, Fani Willis, she just gonna keep talking. But there's also a saying that if you tell a lie long enough, you'll start to believe it. But let's get into the story, right? This is from yahoo.com by way of Fox News. And it says, Fani Willis says she's the only DA in the US with enough courage to prosecute Trump. Amazing. Is she the only one enough courage, or she just the only one dumb enough to try to do it? Because I don't know what she's trying to gain. I do know she's trying to gain notoriety, popularity, riches, fame, glory. Who knows? Maybe she thinks she's going to be president one day. No telling. Anyway, let's get into the story. It says, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis told reporters this week she is the only DA in the country with enough courage to prosecute former President Donald Trump in the Georgia election interference case. During an Easter event in College Park Saturday for families in need, Willis, 52, spoke to the media for the first time since a judge ruled she could remain on the case. And see, she chose another religious Christian event to speak. Because remember the first time, what was she at? She was at that big church and went up there and told them lies or them half-truths, them untruths at the church. So now she's at an Easter event, pretty much doing the same thing. Quote, there is one district attorney in the state and really around the country that has the courage to do this, and she continues to do it, I guess, speaking in third person, Willis told Fox 5 Atlanta. The case landed in Fulton County, not by anything that I did, but by the actions of others. And when the case lands in my jurisdiction, I'm going to prosecute it. And that's the end of it. But I could have sworn that you let some of these, I think these race soldiers off when they, I think deleted a young brother out there, and somehow you found a way to get them off of that case. So you didn't prosecute that. So what the heck are you talking about? Defense attorneys have accused Willis of mishandling. But see, here's the thing. When I read that, I asked myself, I wonder what she think of herself. How does she think of herself? In which order? A black woman, a Christian, a Democrat, or a district attorney? In what order does she see herself? Because again, you didn't prosecute these police officers, and they were of the Anglo persuasion, yes. But yet you prosecuting Trump because of his political ties of being a Republican. Went from the church and pledged your case and talked to the Lord based on your blackness and you being a female. So I wonder which one, if it came down to it and she had to fight to keep a reputation from one of those traits, which one would she keep? Which one would you keep? So this defense attorneys have accused Willis of mishandling the case, alleging that she hired special prosecutor Nathan Wade to profit from the Trump prosecution through their romantic relationship. And I don't care how you see it, that's how it turned out. You paid a man a lot of money, you went on a lot of trips. I don't care what you say, you ain't pay all that money back. So let's just keep it a $150, okay? Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee said there wasn't sufficient evidence to prove those claims, but rebuked Willis for what he called a tremendous lapse in judgment. Judge McAfee was supposed, from what I could have read and was led to believe, he really had to find like 100% evidence. There had to be in what you call, it had to look like an impropriety happened. Didn't necessarily could have to prove it, but it had to look like something wasn't above board for him to say she had to go. And it was there. And like I said, he said it in his own reading, in his own decision, that what it say, the tremendous lapse in judgment. I mean, she did some stuff that at 52, she should have known it wasn't right. At 52, she should have known it was not right. Judge McAfee has allowed attorneys for Trump's co-defendants to appeal his ruling that she could stay on the case after the withdrawal of Special Prosecutor Wade. In remarks to Atlanta News First, Willis implored the media to focus on, quote, the charges, the facts, and the law, and leave all the drama behind. Well, you brought the drama to our attention. I mean, it's simple as that. It's like when people say stuff and do stuff and they're in the public eye and then things happen, the first thing is like, why y'all worried about me? It's none of y'all business. Well, no, it wasn't our business until you put it out there. Once it's put out there, it's everybody's business. So you did something. So when you do something, you better make sure that it doesn't get out to the people. I'm 52 years old. It really ain't that interesting if I'm in a relationship or not. It should be it. It just ain't. It's not cool to anybody, and it ain't that sensational of a story. Oh, yes, Willis said. Oh, yes, it was. Because of what you did. How you hid the relationship from your employers, your employees, the judges, anybody who should have known. You hid it from them, and you lied about it up until the point some evidence came out, and then you stated that you had a relationship. But up until that point, you would never say anything. If what's her name, Ashley, well, I can't remember her last name. Good Lord, it's some Ginkoba. Merchant, when Ashley Merchant, if she wouldn't have put it out there, you would have never said nothing. So come on, I mean, stop the bull. Willis also told CNN that the prosecution against Trump hasn't been delayed by proceedings over her romantic relationship. Quote, I don't feel like we have been slowed down at all, Willis said. I think there are efforts to slow down the train, but the train is coming. She also said she didn't believe her reputation, check this out, needed to be reclaimed as she hadn't done anything embarrassing. Quote, I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done, Willis said. I guess my greatest crime is that I had a relationship with a man, but that's not something I find embarrassing in any way. Okay, let's break that down if I could. Say she's not embarrassed. She should be shamed. Because if you wasn't embarrassed, like I said, you wouldn't have hid it. But now that it's out there, you can say, well, I'm not embarrassed about it. People who deny feelings, like people who say, I don't care, it doesn't matter. When people deny feelings, they're trying to, I guess, like fool themselves, like to convince themselves that it don't matter. When it does, if you didn't matter, you wouldn't say anything about it. You wouldn't be sitting there crying about it. You wouldn't keep making these statements. So when you deny the embarrassment, which you should be, because like I said, you must have felt that you would have been embarrassed. Because here's the thing. When a relationship started, and in enormous circumstances or situations, nobody will be none the wiser about who you sleeping with, who you dating or whatever. It don't matter. It's nobody's business. Hell, you know what I'm saying? I done dated people, women at places that I worked in the past, but nobody knew about it until they knew that we was like really, really serious. Now they might have speculated, but it is what it is. But like I say, it goes against company policy. If you break company policy, it's kind of like taking a break. If you're supposed to take a break at a certain time or for a certain length, and you go at a different time or you stay longer, yes, you could get away with it for a while, but then you'd be looking silly if you get rolled up, fired, suspended, called in front of a judge because you decided to take a 45-minute break instead of a 30-minute break. That's basically like this is here. You did something that was wrong for the job. So you should be embarrassed based on that, because you should have been held yourself to a higher standard. And with that, you should be embarrassed because you did not hold yourself to a higher standard. She said, I guess my greatest crime. Now that's taking it to 10. See, that's a diversion tactic, because like using the word crime, because everybody know it was not a crime. You was not being deposed, and these hearings were not being held because you committed a crime. Well, at least not yet. Because once they start digging in on that money, there may be some crimes, there may be some RICOs coming along. But you use that word crime just like you did at the church house. You took it to 10, begging and all, talking about what everybody, these people are racist and this, that, and the third, and acting like you talking to God and you're not perfect. You say things like that because the train is coming, like you say. And when the train arrives, you can at least say you softened the blow. So when you use a word like crime, like my greatest crime, dang well what you're talking about, the relationship is not a crime. So if something else comes down the pipe and it is exposed, you kind of lessen the blow because you used such a big word. Because you said crime I have is a relationship with a man. That's not the crime we're talking about. The crime we're talking about is that money. That's what the crime is going to be. Speak on that. Don't speak on that relationship. He said, but I guess that's not something I find embarrassing in a way. Again, accountability. On Twitter, Trump attorney Steve Sato accused Willis of ignoring Judge McAfee's warning, quote, in his disqualification order about talking about the case in a public forum. And that's what she steadily denied. That she just hard-headed. Does this surprise anyone? Sato tweeted. In a follow-up tweet, Sato wrote, does political ambition, opportunism, and pretentious equals courage? No. I like Sato. That dude, he's a real one. I bet you Trump paying that cat a lot of money, and he's earned every penny. Anthony Michael Crease, a Georgia State University law professor who's been following the case, criticized a comment in a post on X. If I were Fani Willis, I would simply not talk to the media at all at this point, just out of an abundance of caution, Crease said. Fox, and I agree with him. Why is she still talking? She out there. I think she feels if she keeps talking, eventually people gonna start believing, like, oh, she gonna believe it herself, which I believe she does believe her own lies herself. She believes the ignorance and deception. Fox News Digital has reached out to the DA's office for comment. Trump faces 4 felony indictments, including separate federal and state cases for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election that he lost to President Joe Biden, but has fought to delay and dismiss the cases, arguing that political opponents are wrongly targeting him, which is crazy. This here is going to go nowhere. The thing that's happening in New York with his property and the $400-something million, which the judge said all you got to do is pay $100-something bond and you got 10 days to find it, whatever. That's going to go nowhere. You got people that's in the forefront doing things for notoriety, to become famous, to say they took down Trump, and it's not going to happen. Not them, at least not them 2 cases. It's just not going to happen the way they think, but they just going to keep pushing, thinking that they're going to bring this man down. And I'm sorry. I'm going to do a video here shortly that's going to break down what's going on in New York and why it's going to be pretty much hard for anybody to get that money out of Trump. And then besides, the dude's about to make $3.5 billion. So y'all tripping. Anyway, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg is presiding over the criminal trial of Trump's alleged hush money payment to an adult film star. New York Attorney General Letitia James brought a case against Trump in October, alleging that he inflated his assets and committed a fraud, which they say he took out a loan, paid it back with interest, but they said that's not right. He lied about how much it cost, but you paid the people back. He paid them back. I don't get it. Saying the bank could have made more money. So now you siding with the banks. You're gonna side with the banks now, just to take this man down. When any other time, the banks are the enemy because they target poor people. And that's how they stay in business, taking average everyday people money and using that money to give to rich people so they can invest in businesses so they can get richer while you get poor, while you pay overdraft fees. But anyway, and Special Counsel Jack Smith charged last summer that Trump plotted to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. So there you have it. Fani Willis, still on her high horse. She just don't get it. Sometimes people got to hit their head before they realize they run into a wall. And she seems like the same person. I hate to see it. I wish her sister would just, let it go, but I guess she won't. So it is what it is. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's dialogue. You know how we do it around here. Love to have a conversation with everybody. Hey, there are 4 ways, non-monetarily, that you can support the channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. All 4 of them take probably like a couple of minutes. And I appreciate it because it'll help boost that video in the channel and the algorithm. So get more views, get more subscribers, and help support the channel. If you want to support monetarily, you can look in the description box. There are links that you can click on and you can help there. If you just want to talk, if you got some ideas in the comments that you just want to get send directly to me, make sure that I see them, hit me up. Email me at soulinthesoil@gmail.com. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace and I'll see you on the other side.